Right, welcome to our broadcast. After 1 month of break, it is good to be here again, and we are going to have a very interesting live stream today. And I'm going to be asking the question, why does your marriage need a reboot? How do you reset your marriage without restarting? You can just reboot your marriage. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to answer some questions that people have asked me over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to be chatting with you, just hanging out. Usually when I am live like this, I want to connect with you and answer some of your questions. And my goal is to help you have a more impactful marriage as a child of the Most High God. And so if you have some questions with regards to your marriage, or you just want to move your marriage forward, you want to have a more impactful marriage, this is the channel for you. The questions and the discussions we'll have here would help you identify some of the things that you need to be doing in your marriage that you may not be doing, or it will strengthen and encourage you if you're already doing the right thing. So today we're going to talk about marriage reboot, and at the end of it, I will share with you how you can join me and some other people. Right now, we already have 30 people in the group. So myself and 29 others, we are going to do a marriage reboot in September. So I'm going to share with you how you can partake in that. Right. So let's get to the discussion for today. I'm going to start with prayer, and then I'll answer a few questions. Right. So Father, I thank you for this opportunity to hang out again online with your children. There are 1,000 people subscribed to this channel. Every single one of them is precious. I pray for your blessings. I pray that everyone who will be watching live and those who will be catching this on the replay, that their lives will be impacted by the truth that we're going to be discussing here. Simple but effective. And I pray that your name will be glorified in all of this. Thank you, Father. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen and amen. Yes, so we are going to be discussing, why does a marriage need a reboot? First, I want to tell you that my first company that I started on my own in Canada here right after my master's program in electrical engineering was a tech company where I helped people set up networks, computer networks, fix their computers, train them on how to build websites and things like that. And when we were doing computer support and tech support for many of these small businesses, whenever a person tells me they have a problem with their computer, there's something I always tell them to do first, and that is to reboot their computers every time. Just a second, I'm going to make sure that I don't get distracted as we discuss with my phone, my computer on do not disturb. Yes, whenever I get a complaint from anyone and they say my computer is having whatever problem, I always ask, let's reboot. Well, of course, before we do that, I ask, is there power? I view power, is this computer plugged into the power source? And if they say yes and it's working, it has this problem, that problem, the next thing I say is, let's reboot. Not only a computer, phone is also the same thing. Recently, after we did our road trip around Canada and some states in the US, we just finished a 10-kilometer drive around Canada and the US for our summer break. Myself, my wife, and 2 boys. Now, my wife took a lot of pictures, and suddenly her phone stopped working. She couldn't upload pictures to Facebook. She couldn't send me the pictures by airdrop. She couldn't put them in an album and upload them. Everything was just not working. She deleted some pictures from her phone, and I asked her, how much data do you have? How much space you have left, storage space you have left on your computer, on your phone? And she told me a few gigabytes, and like 10 or so or 20. And I said, well, Why don't that's enough, that you have more than enough space. You shouldn't be having that problem. Why not reboot the phone? And she did it, and it started to work. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I've had to just reboot a computer and it works and it continues to work. And does that mean that rebooting can fix every computer problem? No, but it can fix a lot of problems. And if it doesn't fix the problem, it isolates some areas to look at. So when you've rebooted, it gives you confidence as a technician, as a repair person and a technical support person. Then once a client has rebooted their computer and they tell me exactly what they see on the screen or whatever is happening, it gives me confidence to know that certain things have been eliminated from my troubleshooting process. Yes. So this is why every marriage needs to be rebooted. When you start life, just like a computer, as you're running through life, there are certain things that you forget to do. You may forget to slow down and see your spouse, the struggles that they're going through. You may forget to appreciate the things that they have been doing. Maybe they started doing it, you were so exciting to you, and then they've been doing it now for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it's no longer new to you, and so you're no longer appreciative of that. You may forget that. You may forget things that are precious to them. You may ignore or overlook the things that you are doing that they don't like or enjoy because of the pressures of life. And you may also be going through things that you have not even slowed down to realize that it's taking a big toll on you. Many times when we go through life experiences, maybe you got promoted at work and the work is difficult, but you've not really taken the time to realize how it impacts your spouse, and you've not discussed that. Or you lost your job and you're ashamed, and there's shame, there's fear, all that you've not processed, and you just keep life going. What happens is that it clogs your marriage, and your marriage needs a reboot. And in some cases, the marriage is just taking off, and it's taking off on the wrong foot. You just started wrong. And maybe you just right after you said you wanted to marry your wife or your husband, you began to have doubts, and you never took care of those doubts. You got married, and all your fears are now in front of you. You've never really taken the time to reboot, to check what's going on here. So every marriage needs a reboot from time to time, just like every computer does. It's funny that a computer can teach us a lot about marriage. It doesn't matter how much you love your spouse and what you're doing. If you don't reboot, you will be piling those good things on a not a faulty foundation, but a perceived faulty foundation. And because it's perceived to be faulty, you're going to be having some tremors and some shakings that you don't need. Why not reboot and start all over again? See what's there, what needs to be really worked on, what is just a phantom problem. Some problems are not real. They're just there because of one or two things that happened in the last couple of weeks. So that's why I always suggest a reboot. If I'm working with any person in coaching them in their marriage, I usually will start with a kind of a reboot. So what is it? What is a reboot, and what does it mean? What does it look like? First thing I want to say to you is that rebooting your marriage, it can happen even if you've been married for 45 years, 50 years, 10 years, 2 years, doesn't matter. What we're doing is a refocus on, number one, what do I bring into the marriage? And number two, I'm going to give everything regardless of what the other person brings. That's a real simple way to describe a reboot. You're saying, I'm coming with everything I've got, all the beautiful things I've got, and I'm not going to try to get. I'm going to get any response or expectations. I'm just going to do my best to love and and see whatever my spouse can give me. What we're trying to do is to bring it back to when you were dating. You know, when you find a girl that you like as a man, or as a woman, someone that you really fancy, you're not thinking of what they can do for you at the first step of the your connection. You're actually trying to get them to notice you. You're trying to get them to see your worth, what you bring. And at that point, you're really focusing on putting your best foot forward. You're focusing on making sure that you know your value, and you want it to be appreciated. Right now, it doesn't mean that that's a perfect way to be. You cannot be like that all through your marriage, because you're going to begin to see their faults. And because you're seeing their faults, you really can't imagine that it's not there. It's there, but when we're trying to reboot the marriage, we ignore that for a season so that we can then approach solving it with a different mindset. And it works a lot. I discovered this when I started learning to help couples in their marriage. I noticed that a lot of people would come to me and they would have this idea that, you know what, I know what the problem in my marriage is. It is my wife. It is my husband. And I want you to really sit both of us down and tell my husband to do the right thing. Tell her to do the right tell him to do the right thing, or tell my wife to do the right thing. That's what they will come to. And I could see from what they're telling me that there's something that they can do to trigger their spouse to do the right thing, but they're not able to hear me. And then God opened my eyes to say, you know what, let's do a reboot. Teach them, show them how things can change if they just change a little bit. And I always say, you know what, let's do this. Why don't you do a 7-day experiment? And for those 7 days, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. And after 7 days, just let me know the result. Pretend that you are right and I'm wrong, but just do what I say and get back to me, and let's see what next. And over and over again, 99.9% of the time, they will come back to me and say, you know what you said to me to do, it works. It makes a difference. I never thought my wife would do that. We'll respond like that. I never thought my husband would respond like that. Yes, it's normal to do that, because I saw that a lot when I was working in tech too, fixing computers. Someone would tell me, look, I've been struggling with this computer all day long. It's just the mouse is broken, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, you know what, let's do this. I know you've tried everything. Just bear with me. Let's just do this. Let's reboot the computer, and I'm going to do 1 or 2 things. And within minutes, the computer is going to be working, and you're going to see this person knows you. It's because you're the technician. It doesn't know me. It's just that many times when we get into a tough place, we're not able to remove ourselves from the pain and the stress that our spouses have given to us, and so have brought to us, or life has brought. And so we are just building on some false ideas and some false impressions. And so we have these assumptions. And so what I would, after learning that, I started doing that for my own life too, for my own marriage. From time to time, I would just erase all the stuff, and I would take 3, 4, 5 days to just be what I want to be for my spouse. And it really brings some freshness. For example, this last couple of weeks, we just shut down everything, and we stayed together and drove out together and did a lot of things together to reboot our marriage. So it is important to do that. Now, let me see what other questions you may have. If you're with me live, do not hesitate to type #live. I like to know that you're there watching. And if you have a question while I'm live like this, I always enjoy answering your questions. I like to reward your diligence for connecting with me while I am live. So I would like to see that if you have a question. And if not, then I'm just going to go ahead and continue with my discussion. And I'm going to explain to you how we can do a joint community reboot. I've started to gather people together. I have already 30 of us, and I want to build that to maybe 50 or a little bit more than that. And we're going to all work on rebooting our marriage. Yes. And you will experience the transformation. So just wait to the end. I'm going to explain that. Now, question that some may have when it comes to rebooting is, you may wonder, do I need to have my spouse with me? What kind of what if my wife or my husband doesn't want to reboot the marriage and I'm the only one working? Now, I want to say to you, the beautiful part of love is that when love is real, everybody knows it. They may not accept it because they are scared of it. They are they've experienced some pain before in the past, and it's going to expose some of the things that they would rather keep hidden, and so they may react negatively. But everyone knows when they are loved for who they are. And so when we're doing a love reboot, we're going to be teaching you, or you already know these things instinctively, but we're going to be standing with you to do it. And as you're doing it, even if your spouse is completely disconnected, in fact, I've used this for people who are separated and the marriage is restored. They come together and they can work from there, right? So even if that's the case, your marriage can still be restored. And so you don't need to have your spouse involved. If they want to do that, then even better. But if not, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to be showing you to do are things that say to your spouse, I love you. It doesn't matter what you've done and what you've not done. I do love you. And so for 30 days, we're going to be demonstrating I love you. We're going to be demonstrating I value you. We're going to be demonstrating I believe I'm called to serve you. That's what we're going to demonstrate those things for 30 straight days. And then after 30 days, we're going to have drawn out some things that you need to work on for transformation, right? Rebooting sounds like dying to the flesh, which is what Christ seeks of us, but it's just so difficult. Perfect explanation, Jason. You could be doing this teaching. That's exactly what we are talking about. You got it. I love the way you put that. And it's just Christian language, dying to the flesh, and a lot of people don't want to hear that because it's painful to the flesh, but it's life to the spirit. So you got me. You got it. I don't know what to say to that more than that. You hit the nail. Hit the nail on the head. That's what it looks like. It is putting away your fleshy way of reacting, because your spouse doesn't stop being mad or being mean or being angry or being disrespectful or being fearful or being traumatized by whatever has traumatized them in the past. But you will focus for 30 days on just being God's messenger of love to them. And then when you've done that for 30 days and you're not doing it alone, you would have drawn a lot of data on things that you can work on to help move the marriage forward. And the beauty of it, the way you just said it, and the beauty of it is that you may not be the one wrong at all. In fact, you may be right all of 99% of the time, and you just need to tweak a few things in your own life. But the truth is, when you marry a person, you marry them with all their weaknesses, and there's no marriage that works when you say to them, you go fix your problems and I'll be waiting here for you. When you marry a person, what it means is that you have married their problem with them, and so you're going to keep figuring out every day, every week, every month, every year, how to position yourself to help them overcome their limitations, whether they're real or they're just your way of seeing their problems. It doesn't matter whether they're real problem that they have or you just see them having that problem. It's still the same to you, because the truth is you are having that problem from them. So you're going to say, you know what, my wife is disrespectful to me, or for example, or if it's a wife, my husband doesn't really care about me. Okay, that's a problem. He doesn't know how to care, or she's disrespectful. Now, how can I reposition myself to help her see that I'm hurt, or this thing is limiting me in my ability to impact her and bless her, and how can I overcome that and push past that. That's what we're going to be thinking about. And so when we go rebooting the love, and we just give love, say I love you, but not with words, sometimes with words, mostly with demonstration, it opens your eyes to so many things that you've not seen before, and it works. So thank you Jason for that contribution. It's powerful and it's true. You are going to have to tap into the Spirit of God. And I like to teach this when I'm doing a reboot. So during the reboot that we're going to be doing for the next 30 days, starting from the 1st of September to the 30th of September, I'm going to be teaching and explaining in short 5-10 minutes videos what real love looks like, how God demonstrates his love, and how to tap into it. The reason why it's good to do a reboot together with others is that you may feel like giving up after 3 days, you may feel like giving up after 5 days, but if you do the right thing, and you have a group of people working with you, you're submitting your wins every day, and when you feel down, you cry out, I feel like giving up, and a lot of people are going to say no, don't give up, let's keep pressing it. You will get a lot from it. So time is already running on, and I usually like to finish this in about 30 minutes thereabout. Let me take some time to explain to you how we're going to do this reboot together. I don't want to do it alone. I do it for myself alone, and I coach people to do it. I stand with them, but I would like us to do it as a community. And to do that, I would like you to go to adesobanjo.com/reboot. I'm going to type it in the chat. adesobanjo.com/reboot. That's it. And okay, now I need to type that as a link. So I need to put https adesobanjo.com/reboot. It's this cool platform. And if you are live with me and you really like what we're talking about, you want to be part of the process. It doesn't matter how long you've been married. It doesn't matter if you're doing good or they're not doing good. I have 20 spots as at this point, as at the last time, that are free. After we get to 50 people, it's going to be $7 a month. So, because it's not just a reboot. We're not just going to do reboot. We're going to also, then after that, we're going to connect as a community, and we're going to keep growing. Yes. So if you want to be part of that, you can log in for life for free. If you just jump in right now, if you're watching this video today, between now and the 1st of September, and it's still free, then jump in. After 50, it's going to be $7 a month. And I don't know what's going to happen after that. The reason why I'm going to increase the price after 50 is because I want to make sure that this community continues to be served. I'm going to be able to serve you consistently and keep putting out resources. My goal is to impact 1 million people. And of course, when I say 1 million people, I mean you and your family. When I impact one person, I assume that I'm impacting minimum of 4 people or 5. And so my goal is to impact 1 million people in a way that love becomes your lifestyle and you trigger love in people. So that's why we call that group Love Catalyst, which means that you enter into a situation, you are not changed, but you transform the people that you encounter. So that's the beauty of that. So if you want to be part of that, go to adesobanjo.com/reboot. And what you will see is this. What you will see, let me go to my browser. What you see is this. It's Love Catalyst. You just click on join group. Where is my browser? You click on join the group right there, the button right there. And it's going to tell you to create a school community. You create a community. And once the community is created, you will join us. All right. And I'm already in, so I'm not going to do that. there are 30 members right now. It's still 30. Maybe I should refresh that. Can I refresh that? Oh, well, nobody can log in. So what it's going to do is when you say you should join, it's going to ask me to ask you to request that. Let me see. It's going to tell you to not that, sorry. It's going to ask you to request to be part of the group. And I'm going to, once I'm done this live stream, I'm going to accept all those who are there. Okay. So this will go on until we start 1st of September. Every day, I'm going to provide you with what to do. Let me see if I can show you what's inside. What's inside? Where is my other screen? What's inside? No, I don't see that there. Okay, so I can't see that one. Wish I could, but it's not there. Let me see. Okay, Google Chrome. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna show you what is inside, so you can begin to prepare for it. I'm sorry, it's taking a little bit of time. There you go. So you go, when you come into the community, where there are already some people in the community already having some parties, some fun things there. Join us. And so in the classroom there's the Love Reboot 30 days program there. And so you see each day, so every day I'm going to put something out there. It could be a text like this, and I'll tell you exactly what to do, or it could be a video, and on like that every day. And when you do what is there, you come to the community, and so you can see someone's requested. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait until we are done, and then I will check what is there, and you can join. So we're going to go post some things every day. Wins, Love Reboot. If you have questions, all of that, we're going to do that, right? And it's going to be fun. If you are interested in that, you should join right away when it's still free, and you don't have to pay. But it's worth the price anyway. It's worth the price, $7 a month, to connect with like-minded believers, people who love God, people who will stand with you and pray with you. So we're gonna pray and we're gonna hang out. For this month, for the month of September, we're gonna hang out every week. On Friday mornings, we're gonna hang out and just connect with people, answer questions, and just get to know each other, stand with each other. The world that we live in today doesn't really stand up for marriage. We want marriage, but when we get into it, we figure that, you know what, if my wife is not going to be the way I want her to be, and then I'm just going to leave and go find another person. Or if my husband is not meeting up, I'm going to just leave him and go find someone else. Sometimes it looks like it makes sense, you have a husband that is cheating on you. You have a husband that doesn't really care about what you do. They're very mean. They speak, they're abusive, and you may wonder, am I just going to, is it not better to abandon them and just go find another person? Sometimes it looks good, but sometimes I've discovered that when you make up your mind that, you know what, I know that messed up, but I'm still going to use the opportunity that this gives to me to work on me so that I can bring out the love of God that is in my heart better before I abandon this marriage. Things happen. Power of God moves. Miracles happen. Where the same way Jesus took a man who was persecuting the church and turned him around in one day to a person who was ready to lay down his life for the church. God moves into the marriage, encounters the spouse that has been wayward or mean or foolish, and turns them around, right? This is why we cannot abandon a marriage just because we feel stressed in the marriage. We need to let God guide us into what to do, especially because you were not foolish when you chose that spouse. You were not forced into it. There's something that you saw. And because now the enemy has attacked it and the marriage is now struggling, doesn't mean it's time to go. Now, that Don't get me wrong. There are some marriages you need to pull away from where your life is in danger. You know that this person was just conning you into marriage, because there are some con artists who are not real in the marriage. So those ones, we know that when you just abandon them and move forward because they're not real. But many times, I've seen marriages that look like they were going to divorce. In short, they asked me questions about, how do you help us to, how do I go about separating stuff? And then we say, you know what, let's work on it. And the marriages are good now. And I know my own marriage. If I was to react the way that some of my clients are reacting to problems that we have had in our marriages, the marriage would have been broken. Only that I was blessed to get help early, and God opened my eyes to see these things, and it has changed my life, changed the life of many of my leaders as a pastor, many of my clients as a coach, and it can change yours too. All right, so I want to encourage you, join us for the 30 Days Love Reboot program. It's going to start 1st of September, and to join us, you need to go to adesobanjo.com/reboot. Request to become a member in the Love Catalyst group on school, and you will get it for free. If you join after 50, it's still worth it. It's going to be $7, and we're still going to have a blast. All right. I don't know if there's any other questions. So good to have you online with me here today, Jason. If there's any other person there, I know you're there. I can see that there are people there, but I don't know who they are. So I say hello to you. The Lord bless you. If you have any questions for me, send me an email. If you're on my email list, if you're not, we're going to figure out to get you on my email list. You can just look in the description and request for any of my stuff. You'll be on my email list. I try to email my list almost every day, giving you tips, giving you resources, and serving. I want to give everything that I can to make sure that marriages are great. Marriages, especially marriages of people who know God as the source of their lives, that it reflects the love of God. And the children are blessed and they grow up in a home that is filled with love. That's my passion. That's my desire. And I know God is doing it. And so until we meet again next time, continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact. And see you in the Love Reboot. All of us are going to be refreshed and blessed. All right. Bye for now.